Hey there, everybody. My name's Danny, and I have Asperger's syndrome. Wow, that felt good to say because I've been hiding it for so long. I've been holding it in for so long that I'm just tired of doing that, And now I'm just coming clean with myself. I'm being honest with myself. I'm gonna be like, you know what? I don't care what anyone thinks anymore. I'm just gonna go right out and say it because it's a part of me, and I shouldn't ignore it anymore. So yes, I have Asperger's syndrome. For those of you that don't know what that is, it's on the autism spectrum, but it's on the higher end, the higher functioning end. But don't get me wrong, there's still people that are low functioning that have it, or lower functioning, I should say, that have it. They like look down during eye contact when they're supposed to make eye contact, but they're not. Or they'll just they'll go off on tangents, and they'll whatever has to do with the subject matter, they won't be talking about that at all. They'll go off on some tangent about a random subject that interests them, that type of thing. But that's not me. I make eye contact with everybody. I say hi and bye, all that stuff. I shake their hand. I'm not afraid to touch somebody, all that stuff. So that's the misconception people usually have about an autistic person. Like, oh, this guy isn't social, then he's like useless in society. But that's actually pretty far from the truth because once you get to know us, we're actually pretty exceptional people because we overcome a lot. That means that we're all fighters, but at the same time, we're also we're logical thinkers and we're really, really intelligent. Like we have high intelligence. And you know who else had Asperger's? Look throughout history, right? There's Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, Albert Einstein. Those are the three most famous ones. And look what they've done. Look at the record books. Look at the history books. They've done a lot in society all over the world, and it's and they're well known. And and look what they were leaders. They were inventors. Thomas Edison too. I mean, they all did something, and that gives any parent of a child with Asperger's, that fact right there should give them hope that their kid could do anything. And that's what this video is about. Is to inspire people. Like I want people to watch my channel and my videos when they're having a bad day. They could just look me up, watch what I have to say, listen to what I have to say, and they could feel better about themselves because everyone has baggage in the world. But once you notice that someone has it worse than you or whatever, then it makes you feel better about yourself. And I also want to inspire and give hope to the parents of an autistic child, thinking that all hope is lost and their child will not never amount to anything, and that they'll have to take care of them their whole life, and that they're useless and helpless. And that's not true. They'll grow up and they'll be somebody. You just have to listen to them. They all have their own interests. Like we don't socially we miss verbal cues and social cues. We don't pick up on sarcasm sometimes. We don't pick up on like when someone is telling a joke or whatever. We're the last to laugh, which is actually funny because we're developmentally delayed, right? So this is funny how we would be the last to laugh because we were the last to do everything. So it's like a kind of an inside joke amongst us, but yeah, well, that's what it's all about. Like me, for instance, I grew up in a great household, loving parents, have married over 30 years, and really, really happy. All, two loving siblings that are protective and they care about my well-being, and that's how I owe them a lot because that's how I actually learned how to be around, be in social settings, actually be comfortable, even though I'm not comfortable all the time. Not at first. I have to actually psych myself up. Like I'll have to take like a bathroom break to feel good about myself. But and I have to go out a second time, like walk into the room a second time in order to actually feel good. But that's okay. That's just how it is. But uh, to grow up with two, we call regular people neurotypicals like NTs, and that's not like a derogatory term or anything. It's just what they're called. And so I grew up in a household full of NTs, and like um, I learn from them. Like I mimic their behavior. Like if ever they were doing something, like I did it. Well, not when it comes to like if they did something wrong, I learn from that and not do it. But like I would pick up on what they were, how they talk to people, at school or whatever. I just look at what my brother was doing and do what he did, and then I learned over the years how to talk to people the correct way. I mean, I still sometimes say the wrong thing because as people with Aspergers, we tend to speak our minds all the time, and we don't really have a filter when we talk. So we're just saying whatever is on the tip of our brain at the time, you know? We put our foot in our mouth, and we don't even realize we're doing it at the time until like hours later. We're like, "Oh shit, I said that," you know. But yeah, this is how it works out with us. But I mean, that's okay. The hard part is that people look at us like we have like the plague or something. Like we're just not like worth it or whatever, you know, and we're not like a person, which is so stupid because if you talk to me normally, like we'd have a great conversation, right? So after I open up and tell you about myself fully, how is it then a problem? You know what I mean? You didn't have plague symptoms before you talked to me, and now that I open up and tell you, all of a sudden you have all these symptoms. I mean, it's like kind of like a stupid thing, you know what I mean? So I wish people were a little bit more open-minded nowadays, but you find out who your true friends are. And speaking of friends, for as people with Asperger's syndrome, we call ourselves Aspies, quote unquote Aspies. You know, that's our nickname. But anyways, us Aspies, we have trouble making friends. You know, and it's really tough to make friends. And me personally, I've only had like two true friends in my whole life. Two really true friends I could tell everything to and be open and honest with. I love those guys to death, and I wish that I had more, but I mainly have acquaintances. You know, like the hi bye people. Everyone has those, but that's okay, and that's how it is. It's really a sore spot for me, but you know I'm still learning, and over the last 2 years I've been able to be more comfortable with social settings. So I've been doing all right. You know, when I was a child, I wouldn't look at anyone in the eye, and I looked down a lot, and I wouldn't want to talk to anybody. I was pretty quiet, and I got picked on a lot in school. But it is what it is, you know. Kids are cruel, and you grow up and you change. So that's the facts of life, and I'm fine with that. But I'm just mainly making this video just to give hope to people and inspire them. And if you're autistic and you don't know how to express it, or you're ashamed of yourself, don't be ashamed of yourself. You grow up to do anything just as much as any other person can. You know, you're not a waste of space, and you could do whatever you want. The sky's the limit. You know, you're just like any other person. You just don't like crowds. With that Asperger's syndrome, what comes along with it is like a little bit of agoraphobia, which is the fear of the outside world. You don't want to go outside. You want to stay in. You know, and that's a little bit of that. There's also, you can have panic attacks. Like I tense up sometimes whenever I'm around like a big group of people, or for the first time, like, or like a job interview and a first date especially. You know, like, oh, you know, horrible. But anyways, after all that, you know, it goes away within 15 minutes. But going into it, you're like, your heart races and you're just like really nervous, and you're like overly nervous about everything pretty much. You know, and it's crazy, but this is how it is. And also like, just this it's the way of the world for us. You know, we have to overly plan stuff. We have to want to be organized, all that stuff. And you can have a little bit of OCD too. So it's everything all rolled into one, you know. But that's okay though, because it keeps you on your toes and it keeps us honest with one another. And yeah, so and you find out who your true friends are anyway. But anyways, this is gonna be a series of videos. Like once a week, I'll have a subject of the day, subject of the week, and I'll talk about it. Be it like dating, or my opinions on love, traveling, grooming, all this whatever subject. And even in the comments section, the people that subscribe can give me ideas on what to talk about. But yeah, it's just to open up and show you the life of an autistic person and how we're not that bad. And sometimes we get a bad reputation from people, but we're just like any other person. Just look how well I'm communicating right now, you know. So this is just to inspire people, and really hope you subscribe to my page and you get to know me. And I'm just trying to show the world, spread awareness that we're just like everybody else, you know. And I struggle, and I'll be taping and recording my ups and downs through life. hope you enjoy it, and I really hope that you guys subscribe and that this touches a lot of you. So I look forward to you getting to know me over the next however long I do this. So thank you very much.